Well, right now, we're going to go to. Well, do you want to hear the Carney clip about how they're so desperate they got to take some jab at it? I really didn't hear it. You know when you always hear Jay Carney, White House Press Secretary Jay Carney, asked about something, and it's kind of like a free play football. You know, hey, if we mess it up, if it's an interception, that's okay. We've got a penalty. We'll keep the ball. And he was asked about Mike Huckabee's remarks, and here's what Jay Carney had to say. I believe that is cut number 5. Roll it.
And then Jay, not that long ago at the RNC winter meeting here in Washington, Mike Huckabee said that the Democrats' message to is that they are, I'm reading from the report here, they are helpless without Uncle Sugar coming in and providing for them a prescription each month for birth control because they cannot control their libido or their reproductive system without the help of government. Is that the president's message?
I haven't seen that report, but whoever said it, it sounds offensive to me and to women.
Here's what's offensive. Your latest administration comments, specifically President Obama's comments about abortion, I'll post those a little later. Your entire economic platform, your foreign policy that has weakened the United States and has yielded what will become, if policies are continued, great losses in the fronts in the war on terror. What else is offensive? Oh, Egypt. Yeah. Sticking with Morsi and the Muslim Brotherhood and the infiltration of the Muslim Brotherhood and the American government overall. Not conspiratorial, it's actual. Deal with it. Oh, I know what else is offensive. Oh, but Chucky Schumer has to remind me of that. Why do you have to do that? It's juvenile. It's juvenile. Why do you do that, Crane? When I disagree with Crane, I want to call him names. Okay. So here it is. Senator Chuck Schumer says this in a speech that he gave at the Center for American Progress, in which he talked about the fact of what the Tea Party is and how, well, there's a way to deal with it. And there's a way to also destroy it, because he can attract us through economic populism, and it's just insulting overall. But here's his characterization of the Tea Party. Roll it.
The Tea Party elites, with little rebuttal, have been able to make government the boogeyman. They have convinced too much of America that government is the explanation for all their ills. Their mantra, dramatically shrink government and our problems will end, is the fundamentally false but not effectively challenged premise that is the core weakness of the Tea Party.
$17 trillion. $17 trillion. Intergenerational theft. Ponzi scheme. Lockbox. Nothing there but IOUs. That's taking care of our seniors. Obamacare. Medicare pays out average of $120,000 more than it's paid in. We can't sustain that. Penalizing those that make more and using the IRS to target your enemies. That's offensive. Now, what was interesting was I would love to have Senator Schumer have a nice big discussion with Governor Huckabee. That would be a great discussion on the way forward. Because after Schumer falsely characterizes what the Tea Party is, and I love the Tea Party, he's going to have to deal with the facts of what the criticism is, what the truth is. Again, that's why I said President Obama couldn't last an hour with somebody who actually had their facts straight and a moderator that was intellectually honest. Well, you could say that about Bush, and I could. Because at the end of the day, you can only repeat ridiculous platitudes and false narratives so long before you have to address the substance of what somebody is talking about and challenging you on your record, like Mitt Romney did in the first debate. Obama was flat. No, are you serious? He lost the first debate because Mitt Romney pointed out the record he had. And don't make this is what Democrats love to do. And excuse me, I should say the left, because it's not about R's or D's. But I've seen this from the Democratic Party a lot, and Democratic senators, they want to make it personal. I know it doesn't matter. It's the president of the United States with bad policies hurting America. He doesn't understand the limits of power. He doesn't understand business in any way. He doesn't understand human nature. He understands power. And that's how he governs. Am I concerned about Dinesh D'Souza? And, well, I'm going to take a good look at that case. But, yeah, that kind of high-profile indictment. But we'll see what he did, and then I can make a judgment on it. But it did concern me because it's part of a pattern. It's a theme of targeting those that you disagree with. They tried to put Fox out of business earlier. I understand. You say, why Fox? Because Fox is the only recognized national level when it comes to the big four networks that is getting targeted because they have the audacity to present both sides. Why does Fox win in ratings? Oh, it's because they're conservative. No. It's because they present the conservative side, and it's not a 3-to-1 ratio when they do it, or 5-to-1, or 5-to-0. So when you actually hear somebody speak and articulate the truth about conservatism, well, it's hard to go against because you say, here's why I believe what I believe. Like, for example, you can point to studies about economic mobility, and the greatest determining factor is not inequality. In fact, it has most to do with family structure. Again, Huckabee pointed this out in his speech. Take the speech by Schumer and the speech by Huckabee, line them up. And the only way that you can possibly escape defeat if you are looking to win an ideological conversation or driven debate, a substantive debate, is to grip on out of context. He said something about women and libido. Oh, I gotta do that. I'm a better clinger to that because otherwise I have to address what he said was true regarding tax structure, economics, school choice, freedom, true hope. Now, Schumer's speech overall, the highlights are just so insulting. But this is what you expect from people not talking to people, but talking at people who haven't really taken the time to understand where they're coming from. Because I don't necessarily hate somebody because they disagree. Well, I shouldn't hate anybody. I'm working on that. You know, it really doesn't have to do with politics. No. People not fulfilling their responsibilities and that kind of thing. But I digress. The point is this. You should look at people and give them the benefit of the doubt. This is actually something Huckabee talked about again. Man, you're just pushing it. No. I'll give people the benefit of the doubt if they want to fix the problem. I had some wonderful professors, and I was getting my master's, and I had these wonderful professors who were far left, but we'd have these great conversations, and they taught me a lot, and they were sincere in their belief, and they also were at times a little out there, but that's what you get. But there are people sincerely. What I want to do is talk to those people. You see, you say, Crane, you're a lot about the conservative, but what about the Christian conservative part about this? What about the biblical foundation? I look at politics as the door that opens because politics is talking about the issues of the day, the opportunity to speak to what foundationally is wrong with this country, which is the absence of God, the removal of God, taking our daddy out, our true father out, and replacing him with government daddy. And government daddy is awful and has a terrible butcher's bill. It's an awful butcher's bill. And then whenever we've tried this, it ends up really bloody and bad. So I'm welcome the opportunity for an issue to open that up. That's why I'm always at times confounded by people who say, oh, well, don't talk about social issues. Oh, no, I will not talk about social issues. I'm going to talk about social issues because of their foundation of everything else and everything we do. By the way, what's your headline of the week? 888-589-8840. 1-888-589-8840. 1-888-589-8840. So Chuck Schumer looking for administrative ways to go after the Tea Party, and that's what he's looking to do. There is a theme within the administration. Now, why would they start moving more toward the levers of power and do it so brazenly? Well, one, it's an intimidation factor. I'm talking about the left in general. Two, they have to compete again, just like they're doing with Governor Huckabee's speech. They're focusing in on a few lines, taking them out of context, drawing and really not reporting what they actually say and are and what they mean, because to do anything else, they have to recognize that their agenda does not work, has never worked, and is continuing to hurt people. So, yeah, headline of the week. I'll take calls, 1-888-589-8840. It's always a good Friday question. And as we get the phone lines a-humming, I will continue to explain and talk about the issues of the day. What are they, Crane? Well, what ridiculous things have we heard this week? How about this report on pot from NBC? I think it's NBC or one of the majors. Roll it.
2 years ago, voters in Colorado and Washington state decided to legalize recreational pot use. Under the new laws, tourism is booming in Colorado. And as Barry Peterson reports, a new type of entrepreneur is profiting from it.
Call it cannabis capitalism, the latest leaf to sprout from legalized marijuana. Michael Eimer's pot tours cost $240 a person. Appropriately enough, the pot tour ends at a sub shop where Acapulco Gold is a sandwich, and they are ready to help with those marijuana munchies.
What about the schizophrenia? Are they ready to help with that? I'm just checking. What about if they don't make it there? Okay. Crane, you're taking it a little too serious. Oh, I should. It's drug use. See, I don't think it's funny. I don't think we should joke about it. Hey, I can't stand drunk drivers either. I think it's terrible. Crane, are you saying you've never... No, I'm not saying that. But if I continue, I was about to take that call and they just dropped off, buddy. Oh, they're dropping off. Okay, well, we do what we can. I just think that if we have more of this, we're going to have more death, and we don't need something that is going to imprison ourselves, and we shouldn't have a right to imprison ourselves. Now, there's a side, and when it comes to legalization of pot, that says, hey, it's my own freedom, it's my own right, but that has a social consequence, and we've got to make those decisions. I'm all right with the fact that people, if we live in a constitutional republic where we can make those decisions, in the sense of our state legislature and inevitably our federal legislature, with federal legislation. But I'm not all right with the result of the policies. For every dollar that you gain in tax revenue, that's always the thing. I really, that makes my skin crawl. I wrote an article a long time ago about taxing vices and saying that's a great way to fund. I mean, just legalize it, and what we'll do is we'll fund everything. Well, there's more social cost. And does that mean when we look at smokers, hey, let's get a few more people addicted so our public school system can get even better? Or is freedom the answer there in competition? So, I know there are disagreements, and Eileen, I want to get you in here. Go ahead, Eileen.
Hi, Crane. Yeah, this is Eileen.
Yeah, you got 20 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay. I have noticed that the things that they are doing are intended to create an atmosphere of despair, a wilting feeling to everyone.
Yes.
Like, oh, we just can't do this as far as voting goes. I think that's what this is entirely for right at this point.
Well, very interesting observation. I see where you're getting at. Wish I had more time to talk with you, Eileen, but thank you so much. Great to be with you. You take care. That's a good point. Crane Durham's nothing.